Good evening, everybody. This is Danny J here from ByteBox Media. Just doing a quick sound check. Make sure the microphone's alright. If you could all just let me know how that sounds. If it's too loud, too quiet, I'll try and crank it up for you. Alright, sounds alright. I just did a quick preview myself. It sounds a little bit echoey, but I think we're going to be alright to run with it. So I think we can go any second now. Just going to wait for a few more to try and jump on before I make a start. Just give it a few minutes and then we're good to go. Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live stream here from ByteBox Media. I'm Danny J. I hope you're doing well. Here in the UK, it's bonfire night. So if you hear some loud bangs going off, which do actually sound like guns and artillery, don't panic. Everything's going to be alright. It's bonfire night. If you're not familiar
Alright,
with
good
Bonfire
evening,
Night,
ladies.
it's Bonfire Night is we celebrate every year for Guy Fawkes, the guy who tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. But yeah, so here we go. So finally, we've managed to get around to our live stream this year. As you will know, things have been a little bit quiet on the ByteBox media front. That doesn't mean that nothing's been happening behind the scenes. Trust me, we've done a hell of a lot of things this year. We've just been really, really busy coding, developing, expanding, you name it. And I have absolutely no doubts that a lot of you are going to have questions that you want to ask, which is absolutely fine. So if you can just leave the questions until I've finished doing the showcase, then I'll be able to answer them all for you. So I can take whatever questions anybody has. That's absolutely fine. And I'll answer all your questions that you have towards the end of the stream. I promise this will not go on for too long, I promise you, because it's 7 p.m. here in the UK and I've been grafting since 6 o'clock this morning, so I'm on a 13-hour shift already, so I'm absolutely tired. So yeah, let's just get the showcase done first, then we'll go for the questions. Anything that you want to ask, I'll get around to sorting that for you. Alright, so the first thing that I want to do is let's just take a look back at the launcher login system, which we have. If you remember, we set up the original page, which was for the donators. So this was way back at the back end of 2023, so just coming up to 2 years. So the initial launcher login system, when I first thought of the idea, which was requested by quite a few people, I thought, we didn't think too much about the technicalities of how it would work, how we would make it work. So I just jotted down a quick blueprint, if you will, and that was the initial offering for the plugin. Now, the fantastic news is, I'm not just the kind of guy that will just settle for developing something like this and just leaving it ad hoc to exactly how we specified it here on the page. I just know that you're going to be excited about what it is that we've developed with the launcher login system. It is completely expanded from what we advertised here. So first of all, I want to say a massive thank you to all the donators since 2023 that donated towards the development of this plugin and this system, because this is not just a straightforward quick and easy drag and drop plugin and system. It's an entirely complex system, and it all starts with what we call the web script. So in order to get a functioning launcher login system complete and ready to use in the launchers, we had to first develop the web script, which is what I'm going to show off tonight for you, so you can see exactly what we've been up to behind the scenes. So let's just have a quick look down this page, just to see, because bearing in mind I've not looked at this page either for like over a year, so I can't even remember what we initially put inside this page, but I know that what's inside this page we've done, but we've also done a lot more, but we'll get round to that. So as you can see, obviously we had the basics in, so user registration, launcher login, user management, and the fact that you can self-host this system on your own websites as well, so you're in full control, complete control. When it comes to stuff like this, I understand that a lot of people have different needs, because you can't cover every possible edge case for in every possible scenario that development teams may have. So what I've always said from the start, that this will always be an open source web script, which means that you can develop up on it yourself. So what I've done is I've developed the boilerplate system for you, which initially was just meant to be a simple boilerplate system where it handled user registration and login, and then connect to the launcher and just do that kind of stuff. But to me, it didn't seem like it had enough functionality. But again, we'll get to that soon. So it's still complete PHP and SQL development, the implementation, that's the stack that you're looking at. So I wanted to try and keep things as easy as possible, for PHP coders to be able to develop upon themselves, and expand the system, and maybe bespoke it to how, because you might get a gamer guy that comes along and goes, well, I want to develop a launcher logging system so people can download my Minecraft mods, but you might only want to limit your Minecraft mod downloads to a specific set of people. Do you know what I mean? But then you might get a development studio come along, which we do have quite a lot of big development teams on using Game Launcher Creator. They might come along and go, well, we've got a catalogue of games. And some people might own these games, some people might not own these games. We need to know who owns what games, So the system needs to be quite complex, really. But again, I've left it a pure PHP SQL. There's no React, there's no Vue, there's no other stack behind it, because if you want to develop on top of the PHP SQL stack, then you can do. That's absolutely fine, and it's all there. It's just a boilerplate system, and it's ready to go instantly as soon as you install and upload the files to your hosting and install the scripts and configure it. The world's your oyster. You can customize it however you want. So yeah, completely customizable design. I've done a boilerplate design. It's like a dark theme. It's quite modern today, isn't it? 2025. Everybody's doing the dark theme look. So that's the kind of theme that I've gone with. What else have we got here? So yeah, with just a quick example of what it would look like. Name, email, date of birth, blah blah blah, terms and conditions, register, user role access, a custom dashboard. We've got all that. These previews are way out of date. Look at these previews. These were the very first prototypes. That's old school. That's long gone. Doesn't even look like that anymore. But you'll see it in a second. So yeah, so obviously we're not taking any more pledges for the donations, because the system is nearing completion now. So I'm going to hop over to the actual system here, which I've got running on a test site. So I want you to be able to see everything in real time as to how the system works. Now, at first it might look a bit complicated, but don't worry, I'm going to run through it all with you so you can see exactly how the system works. So what you do initially is the script, when you download it, will come down as a zip file, and inside it will be an install PHP script. So once you've uploaded it to your web server, you just run the PHP script. You can configure all the settings, like database settings and stuff like that, and click install, and I've created like a boilerplate installer as well, which will install all the script and prepare it ready for you, so you can jump straight into the admin. So I'm not going to go over the boring details with that. I've already got it set up, so let's log in. So I'm just going to log in now. Now when you do a sign in, I've tried to make this system as secure as possible as well, and again, you can work on top of this and do your own thing. But I've just done the basic stuff, like for admin logins. You need verification code that's sent to your email and all that kind of jazz. So I'm just going to nip over to my email now, just get that verification code and pop it in. And there we go. So here we are. This is what the dashboard looks like for the launcher login system. Now this will be hosted on your own website. So again, you can customize all of this yourself. So this is what your initial dashboard will look like. So this is where there's a graph that normally shows up here. Obviously there's not been any sign-ups in the last 7 days, so there's no graph showing at the minute, but it will show a graph of the latest sign-ups, recent activity, products, orders and signs. So let me just give you a quick bit of excitement for you right now. Nobody caught that password, did they? So what I've done is I've gone a little bit, a few steps too far in developing this, because I realised that there'll be a lot of people out there, all you guys that are watching this live stream right now, and probably a lot more others, that might just not want a basic user registration and login and management system. I mean, how cool would it be to have your own store built in? So that's the first thing that I want to show to you, because that's the first thing that I went ahead and did. So if you click on products, you can actually create real life products, digital downloads. So it's not just a case of now that people can sign up to your system and then use the launcher based on files they can download. They can actually purchase. I've actually done a full Stripe integration inside here, so you can actually start selling your products from the launcher login script yourself. So if you've got your own mods, you've got your own games, you've got a membership pass or anything like that, you can sell it all, and it all works with the launcher login system, and it's all configured and set up for you. So the only thing you need to do is add your products, add your membership systems, whatever it is you want to add, and it's all done for you. So now you can grant access to specific pages in your launcher, specific downloads, specific buttons, objects, whatever it is that you want, based off, does the user own the product or does the user have a specific role? All the options are down to you. There's no programming required whatsoever. So let me just hop up to the users section here. So you can see this users section. This is where you can check out your users. You can create a new user if you want, set a temporary password, and search users. If you're obviously going to end up with hundreds or thousands of users, you want a quick way to be able to search through them all. Easily done. So you'll notice that I've implemented as much as I possibly can when it comes to user login and registration, such as when the user signs up, you're obviously going to need an email address. They can set their own passwords. Then we can set verification on as well, so they have to verify their email addresses. Each user has a status, are they active, are they locked, are they disabled. You can manage grants and permissions manually for users, but all of this is done automatically. So let me just show you. In a new tab. Web. So this is what the website will look like to your users. You can customize all this, the logo, the brand. You can do all this in the settings. You don't even have to touch any code to customize any of this. So when your users come to your website, they can click create account. It's going to ask them for some required details, and then some additional optional details as well. And then what they do is they click create account, and then it will send them an email with a special token in that they have to verify their email address with. That's how, that should come as standard really, because especially if you're going to be dealing with sales through your website, you want to know who your customer is. So it's pretty much a standard baseline today to have email verification in there. You can turn it off if you want, but by default it comes with that built in already for you, and users won't have the verified tag on your launcher site until they've actually verified. Now the token that they're sent it expires within, I think it's 10-15 minutes. So if they missed the token, maybe they didn't check their emails for an hour or whatever, they can always do reissue themselves another one, or you could just do it yourself on here on the dashboard for them. So they can do that, and then what else have we got? Right, so let's just look at the settings. So we've got settings for it, and again everything comes as a baseline for you, already set up. Obviously not this, you'll change this depending on where you've uploaded your script to, but you set your admin email here and your support email address, and then this is what I was just talking about. So whether you want to require your users to have email verification, you can turn that off just simply by unchecking that. So for things like branding, so the logo URL, that's the logo that appears here and throughout the front end. You can simply upload your own image or just point to a URL online. Same with the favicon, or if you don't want to specify a separate favicon, it'll just use the logo as a favicon. You can change the header title and the thing. So this is here, the branding. So you can change all that just by changing the text here. And again, same for the footer text, which appears down here. You can change that, and I've also put a little variable in there, so you can just use year and it will automatically update the year down here for you. And then security, we've got a security section as well, so you can specify the token time to live, so you can specify that in minutes. So default is 60. So basically the user will be logged out after 60 minutes or after 60 minutes of inactivity. I'll get round to this, what these are, in a second. But yeah, so these I can tell you about these now. Actually, these are for the API system, and that's what the launcher will use to connect with. But it also works on the front end as well. But again, I'll get into the nitty-gritties of that later on. Check this out. So this is where I've actually integrated Stripe directly into the system for you. So you can set test mode, set live mode. You specify your Stripe keys here. Simply click Save Settings. Choose your currency code, which is a 3-letter code that Stripe uses, and that's your store set up. Literally set up. So there's other things as well, like mail setup. So you can either choose to use a SMTP custom server. You can use PHP mail, which is sent by your own server. But for debugging, I always recommend to use login local storage, because then you're not actually sending emails out. You can just the emails that are sent out are stored on your FTP, so you can just check that they work there as well. We also have a full audit log, so anything that happens on the front end, on the back end, everything is logged and you can check. So you can always check what users been doing, what have they changed the password, who's up, have you updated a product, have you added products, did somebody else log in as admin. You'll be able to check all that out here in the audit log. So we've got the users covered. Now you have a thing called roles. So roles can define a blanket of what people are allowed to access. So by default you have admin and user account. These are what happens by default, and obviously you're running on the admin account. So you can grant other users admin permissions if you must. But other than that, by default the user, when they sign up to the site, they will by default come to gaining the user role. And then from there on out you can define your own roles. So for example, if you have a basic membership and a premium membership, you can create them roles. It's dead easy. You just type in the slug up there, type in the name, and then give it a little description to say what it is, and that's the role created. Then what you do is you go to products, and then you can add your products. So again, pretty simple for digital products, whether they're mods, downloads, actual games, whatever it is that you want to sell. You put in the SKU here, the name, and then the price, but you don't have to put in the price. It can be a free download, a description, and then you get a choice of an image URL and a cover URL. Simply create. Once you've done that, then you'll be able to edit the product at any time, including the price, anything else. You can even archive it or keep it active. So once you've got your roles and your products done, then it's over to the downloads. So you can create downloads for your games or your mods, whichever, for the products that you've done. So for example, let's just create, well, I'm not going to create that, I've already done all this. So I'm using Config File Creator here, which is one of our other software products, just as an example. So that product is active, so I can go to downloads and I can say, well, we have, I don't know, beta 1.0.2 available. So then I can specify the URL to that, like this, beta 1.1.2.exe, click active, you click create, and then there's the new download. So you just click assign, and then you choose the product, and then you save the assignment. And that's literally all you have to do. There's nothing more you have to do. So now this download is connected to Config File Creator. Now, for example, on Config File Creator, that's the beta version. Say that you had an official installer, you just create the official installer as well, like that. Click on create, and you would assign that also to Config File Creator. So now Config File Creator has two downloads attached to it. One is a beta and one is the installer. So you can have multiple downloads per product, and then what you can do is when you get into the launcher itself, you can then define, based off the user's role, which downloads they're entitled to. So for the standard user, you might just want to give them the installer, but if they're a beta user, you could give them a beta role, and then you could tell the launcher, oh hey, this guy's a beta user, so he's also entitled to download this beta version as well. So yeah, so there's literally no holds barred when it comes to this system. You can, and it's so trying to make it so easy for people, no matter what skill level you are, whether you're a complete newbie or whether you've got tons of PHP experience. It doesn't matter either way. I've tried to make it as easy as possible and straight out of the box, ready to go. So this is the cool area I want to show you. So I've just got a test user that I've got here with our ByteBox account. So I can log in. So this is what your users will see when they log in. So they've got a little dashboard here, so they can manage their profile. They can change the name, the country, and postcode, and everything else. They can also view their orders as well, just by clicking there. They can log out, or they can get support. and that is attached to the email address that you specified on the settings page. And check this out, they can view the store. So let me just quickly just go to products. Let me just add a new product now. So I'm just going to call this, let's just call this a platinum membership. Well, that's the SKU, so I should probably put platinum membership. We're going to sell this at $29. I'm going to call it platinum membership for our launcher login system. This is a cool little package that will give you access to all of our games 24/7, 365 for an entire year. And then you can select an image that you want to upload for that. So let me just see what I've got in here. So we can do, which image is this one? This is for the image. So you could do, oh no, let's just take this GTA one here. And then you can upload a cover image as well, like that. Then we can create the product, and the product's done, just like that. It's literally as easy as that. And check this out, when you go to the front end of the store, you refresh it and boom, your product is there, ready to go. So the user can click on view details, they can view the cover image, the description, and they can actually click buy now. Check this out, if I click buy now, you'll see, obviously I'm in test mode, but you can see that it goes through to here. So I'm actually going to buy this just to show you how it works. So byteboxgames@gmail.com. I can enter some test stuff here for Stripe testing, something like that. And then I can click pay. Stripe will process the payment. Once that's gone through, it takes them through back to your site. Thank you, your payment was successful. You now have access to your product. So they can go back to the dashboard. Obviously, it doesn't refresh instantly here. So what I have to do at the minute is I just have to sign out and back in order for them to see that. As soon as I sign back in, you'll see I've got the Platinum Pass now. There's no downloads available for this product yet. That's because I've just created the product, haven't I? So if I go to downloads, I can do Platinum Pass installer. And again, just do an example, install.exe. I click on create, so then I assign that to the Platinum Pass. That won't show until I log back in. I am going to sort that before we release, don't worry. It's only a quick 2-second job. But there you go. So as soon as I log in now, because I purchased that, I can view it in my orders as well. There you go, order number 7. I purchased it on the 5th of November 2025, $29. I can now download the installer that came with it. And if I've got any other downloads that I'm entitled to, they'll all be listed here as well. So everything is fully automated there. And this is the front end. So you can use this system twofold. You can stick to just having a front end like this, where like it's an actual website where people can actually buy products, download, install, or you can use the launcher login system via the actual game launcher as well. And I've already done all the heavy lifting and all the coding inside the game launcher runtime in order for you to be able to do that. Now, the way we have to code these things is it's not as straightforward as you imagine. So you imagine that if a client came to me and said, oh, we need you to build us a custom game launcher because we have this store and we want to be able to users to log in and stuff like that, then when I'm coding that, I'm coding it specifically and exclusively for their project. So I would just make it work with their website. However, because this is a launcher login system that's going to be available for all users on Game Launcher Creator, I have to code it in a dynamic kind of fashion, which means if you take the amount of time it takes to code one custom launcher, I have to make that code work for a billion different scenarios or possible scenarios that people could want to use it for with their game launcher. So the work increases tenfold, and that's why it's taken so long for us to get to where we are. However, I'm hoping that today, once I've showed you all this, you'll think that it's hella worth it. I think it's hella worth it. This is a monumental step in a great direction, because now you can all start making money with your game launchers as well, using the launcher login system. You can literally sell your memberships and your mods and your maps, your resources, your games, your apps, whatever it is that you develop, you can actually sell them through this script, and you can also get it to connect with the game launcher as well. So yeah, I mean, there's not really too much else to show you right now. I could go through some of these other nitty gritties, but they're a bit boring, to be fair. You've got API keys here, because obviously everyone needs, you might want several different applications to connect to your launcher login script. So, for example, you would generate an API key for the launcher, but then if you have your own another website that you want to connect to it, you can generate its own API key, so you can keep keys separate, and that keeps everything safe for you as well. And then we also have a pages section as well, so your pages will appear down here, so you can create a new page at any time. So if you wanted to create a new page, I don't know, we'll call it, I don't know, what can we call it, a FAQ, so like a frequently asked questions. There's a little editor in here for you, so you could just go frequently asked questions, this question, this answer, and then you can format it to look however you want it to look as well. So for example, you could give that a size of 18, we can make it bold, we can save it. So as soon as I save that page, it will appear down at the bottom. Oh, I kept it on draft. Save page. There we go. Automatic. So you click on FAQ, and straight away you get that up. So that is the web script completely done. Absolutely completely done. And you can obviously, apart from that login thing where I could do the quick refresh, but that's going to take me 2 seconds in the morning to do that. So the web side of it is done. The launcher login system implementation into the actual launcher itself, I'd say it's 98% done. I've literally just got a few more tests to run with a few of the beta testers that are testing it for me. Everything's gone as smooth as up to now. So I'm going to say 99% done. So yeah. So if you guys have got any questions, I've not been looking at the chat whatsoever here on YouTube, because I've just been trying to concentrate on showing you this. So I'm just going to see if you guys have got any questions whatsoever. Just fire the questions over now on YouTube, and I'll get to them for you. I'm just scrolling back up through the chat, just see if there's anything that I've missed. Doesn't seem to be anything. The user and transaction data stored. So the user and transaction data is all stored in the database. So you create your own database. You don't have to create the tables or anything. You just create the database on your hosting. When you run the install script to install this to your site, you just specify the database name and the username and password and everything, and the script will set up all the tables for you. So it's all stored inside the SQL database, and you can check it all out here. So if you click on orders, you can see all the orders that have come through the site. So you get the order ID, the user that ordered it, which is their email address, and their actual user ID. It tells you what product they purchased, it tells you the amount they purchased for, the date, and then the Stripe ID as well, so you can compare that. Is there a way to implement SSO like Keycloak or something like that? Yep. You can, once you have your hands on this script, you can do whatever you please with it. Literally, you can develop whatever you want into this script. If you want to develop multi-factor authentication, you want to link it up with other, you want Zapier will be a good one to link it up with. The world's your oyster, there's no limits. Any compatibility for physical goods with shipping options, size and etc. Making it more Shopify-esque. Out of the box, I'm going to say no, because obviously I'm only concentrating on the digital side of things. But again, I've already developed this system for you, so the order stuff and everything is already in place. You could always easily expand to support physical products. It wouldn't even be that difficult, to be fair. We've got I don't know. Well, I don't know. Obviously, Danny, I don't know what level of PHP experience you've got, but because I've already got the store and the products developed for you, adding the physical aspect wouldn't be too much work at all, really. I suppose you would just create a shipping module to handle shipping, so you would apply shipping fees if necessary and define what countries you want to ship to. Again, you can always expand the system however you want. Can you export all your data somewhere for backup, users, products, etc.? So, again, out of the box, it doesn't support anything like that, because if you're hosting it on your own web server and you're on your own hosting server, you should have your own backups in place, really, with your own web hosting accounts. But what I am going to do is I am going to implement that. I'm going to import tomorrow morning when I fix up the little refresh thing. I'm going to put in a little button in the admin section so you can export all the user data, because we all know how important exporting user data is, especially when it comes to doing your books and your accounts and taxes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to implement that. But I would also recommend that everybody has their own backup systems running, backing up your database at least minimum daily. If you're experiencing hundreds of users or quite a lot of sales every day, even if it's just 10-15 sales a day, I would definitely recommend backing your database up maybe even once an hour, because the more sales that you have and the more users you have signed up to your site, the less data you want to lose if something goes wrong. Like on most of our servers, because we have so many users every day, I think our database is backed up like every 15 minutes. So worst case scenario is we're going to lose 15 minutes of data. So yeah, again, it's all relative as to what you're doing. But I mean, the most exciting part for me, delivering this plugin as an option for Game Launcher Creator, is the fact that you're not just buying a plugin here that just handles user login and registration anymore. You're buying a plugin that you can actually sell your stuff on, and I've already created everything for you to get up and running. All you've got to do is install the script, configure it, upload your products, create your products, and you can start selling. You could literally start selling within an hour. Start selling your own digital products, whether they're games, apps, mods, whatever it is that you want to sell. You could do it all through here. Even if it doesn't even have to necessarily be an individual product either. With the roles here, you could literally sell, you could set a product up as a pass, which grants access to a particular set of games or mods. Do you know what I mean? So the options are limitless, really. Do we have any more questions? Will there be any options for refunding similar to Steam's refund option? That's a good shout. That I'll look into that in the morning, because I know at the minute you can refund back through Stripe anyway. I haven't created anything in the webhook to register that refund. So yeah, let me just make a quick note of that right now. I've just made a note of that. I'm going to do that in the morning as well. I'm going to implement that. That'll probably take me about an hour tops, I reckon, with some testing. Is it only for developer version, or will it support indie and other one also? Well, I don't know. It's a tough one. Gamer Edition is not going to be supported. Gamer Edition is not going to be supported with this, because with Gamer Edition you don't have the objects required. I mean, you could use the script on your own website, but you're not going to be able to use the launcher plugin with Gamer, because you just don't have the relevant objects, which is obviously the input boxes, because you want to be able to create your own login screen and registration screens and stuff like that inside your launcher as well. Or at least at bare minimum the login. If you want to handle the registration online, that's fine through your website. But if you're going to implement the login system, then you're going to need developer. However, if any of you guys are watching now and you've not got the donator role in our Discord server, just drop me a DM on Discord with your PayPal donation reference number, and I'll sort that out for you. There's a couple of things that I want to show the donators once we're done with this live stream. If you're on Indie, so I don't know if you've already donated or not, Vibrig. If you're on Indie, it's going to be okay for now, but it's not going to be viable for the future. But it's not too big of an issue. Any support for donations or pay what you want? That's a good one. There isn't at the minute. Only what I've showed you today on this live stream is what is implemented, which is literally you just create a product and you set a fixed price for it. Okay, Vibrig. Yeah, if you drop me a DM in Discord, just drop me your PayPal email address that you donated with, and I'll hook you up with the donator role, so you can join us on this live stream, on another live stream after this one. Back to Danny's question though. Again, out of the box, it's just a stipulated price. I don't want to spend too much time on this, because obviously we need to get this released really and get this out. So I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no that I'm not going to implement that in a future update. I think that's a good idea, like donation and whatnot. But I just think if I try and put too many features in right now, it's just going to prolong the release, which I don't think anybody wants right now. Because even just implementing something as simple as donations or pay what you want, you can imagine with Stripe, that could end up being a day, maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days of testing as well. So yeah. Okay, you're Rahman. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm not saying, don't get me wrong. Once I release this web script, there'll still be updates. I'm still going to work on it and push new updates out. So I am going to implement new features like donations, pay what you want support, and maybe even PayPal. PayPal's really tricky sometimes to work with. If you notice, some of the major ones, they shy away from PayPal. If you want to have a bash at integrating PayPal yourself, you're more than welcome. Again, you've got full access to the source code, so you can do whatever you want to do. Is there any way that user's role is expired based, that role access will be revoked after a certain time? That's another good feature that I'm going to add into it. Not before release, because again, any features I introduce now is just going to prolong the release of this system. But yeah, I'm definitely going to put that down to developing as soon as we've got this release. So donations, pay what you want, and role expiry, I'll definitely implement them after the release of this. Okay, there's not too many fans of PayPal in the chat. I've got to admit, PayPal have been good. PayPal have been good to us. I'm not gonna knock them. But again, all this can be customized. Even though all this admin section. Again, if you've got the skill set, when it's only PHP and SQL. That's it. There's nothing. There's a little bit of JavaScript as well, obviously. But if you're already wired up on that kind of front, where some PHP and JavaScript and CSS, then you can dive straight in and start hacking this up the best to your ability and customize it completely how you want it to work. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to get this released. It's not just this. So obviously, what I'm showing you right now is just the web version of the launcher login script. You know, there's a lot more that's been going on behind the scenes. I can't really show you anything right now in this live stream, but I am going to be able to show you in the next week or so the technical side of things and how this will work with the launcher. So yeah, very, very excited. It's been a very, very long year. It's been many days, almost every day this year of coding and programming, 12, 18-hour days. It's been an insane year, and I can't wait to get it released, to be fair. I can't wait to see all of you guys starting to use this launcher login system, start making money with your mods and your games and your apps and whatever. And again, you don't have to use this with Game Launcher Creator. You could just use it standalone if you want to set up this as a CMS, and you know, even if you just want to use the system to sell your games and your apps and your mods and whatever and your downloads, it's all set up, ready to go. You can just customize it all, and the job is a good one. So I can't see any more questions coming through, so I think that we can be pretty much wrapping this live stream up, unless anyone else has got any questions they want to ask before we do wrap it up. And don't forget, if you are a donator and you've got the donator role inside our ByteBox Media Discord server, stick around, because as soon as this live stream finishes, I've got another one especially just for the donators, and I'll be doing that in the voice chat inside the actual Discord. I'm going to do a live stream inside the, I might even just do YouTube actually, because I'm already set up now to do YouTube. So yeah, there's no more questions coming in, so I want to thank everybody who's joined us tonight. It's been much appreciated. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart anyway throughout this launcher login system development. And let me just tell you something, this is the tip of the iceberg, and mark my words, this is the tip of the iceberg. I'm going to do a stream next week, a live stream next week. It's a very, very special live stream that I'm going to be doing next week. And when I say very special live stream, I mean it's very, very special. So I would really appreciate it if you could all join me again next week. I don't know what day I can do it yet. I need to figure out in my diary what the best day is for me to do. But if this is a good time for everybody, then I'm probably going to do it around the same time again. And I'll just pick a day that's going to be better for, you know, for myself and everybody else. But I'd love for you to join me on the next live stream, because I promise you, just in time for Christmas, it's going to be a very special live stream that I want you to be a part of. So yeah, so again, thank you very much for joining. I will be sending emails out over the course of the next week, and an announcement in our Discord server, and I'll be letting you know when the next live stream is going to be. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that'll enable you to get notified when we do go live, and just in case you missed the Discord notification. Right, well, thank you very much for joining.